Action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
Play ball! they scored when Cam Durden, who steps into the right-handed batter's box, hammered his 8th home run of the year. As they reset, apparently the catcher had some issues. One gone here in the top of the first inning. Bulldogs play straight up.
Right-handed hitting shortstop for the Tigers. Tomas Valinkas winds up and delivers, and there's a lazy fly and foul ground down the first base line. That's going to get out of play, and it'll bounce on the concourse down the right field line here at the Hoover Met for strike one. 0-1 on Durnan. 9 doubles this year, 8 home runs for the shortstop. He's driven in 24. No score, just underway, top of the first inning. Tomas Valinkas sets at the letters. Now he pitches, and he misses inside with a fastball to the right-hander. 1 ball and 1 strike. A light breeze, just barely moving that big American flag on top of the pole down in the left field corner, pushing it toward the alley in left center field. The 1-1 on its way from Tomas Valinkas. Roped into center field. Chance sprinting back on the track at the wall. Looks up. That's off the batter's eye, and it is gone. Cam Durnan hits one out to the deepest part of the park. Right at the 405 sign in center field. It's his 9th home run of the year, and Mizzou has an early 1-0 lead.
It's a really nice swing right there by Cam Durnan. Got a fastball enter third and just stayed inside the ball and hit it right back through the middle. Boy, that ball was smoked to center field. It's heating up a little bit. We talk about it at Duty Noble. It gets hotter, and when it starts getting higher, that ball starts jumping, and that ball was hit well.
12th home run given up by Tomas Valinkas in 80 1/3 innings this year. So Mizzou with an early 1-run lead, and here is Blaze Ward, their left-handed hitting second baseman, and he takes strike one on the inside edge, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Valinkas. So you mentioned Sean James and having some issues maybe with that fastball to left-handers. Why is that a difficult pitch for a catcher?
It's hard for him to kind of get around that ball, and it kind of ties him up, so to speak, and it's hard to. For me, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just the ball's kind of cutting away from him, and it's like a right-handed sinker. Sometimes you see those catchers kind of get thumbed. At the same point with him, that ball's cutting away from him, and it just ties him up a little bit.
After a ball down and away made it 1-1, a slider high and tight is a called strike to Ward. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the number 3 hitter in the Mizzou lineup. Tigers lead the game 1-0. Bases are clear with 1 out. Tomas Valinkas delivers a swing and a miss, and there's his first Hancock Whitney strikeout today. Ward down on strikes. There are 2 gone.
Slider's a little bit firmer today too. It's been 88. That was a 90-mile-per-hour slider from Tomas, and usually it's around 86, 87. It's a little bit bigger slider, and that was a little bit tighter slider.
So Tomas Valinkas with his 113th strikeout of the year, second in the league coming into today. Here's the pitch to Mateo Serna, and the catcher takes strike one. Switch hitter batting from the right side. In SEC play this year, Tomas Valinkas struck out 86 batters. That's the most by any pitcher in the league, and that slider, Jay, is a big reason he's able to create that swing and miss.
100%.
Here comes the 0-1 to Serna. He takes a strike on the outside third. Went back to the slider there. 2 strikes and nothing on Mateo Serna. Catcher hitting .245 this year with 21 batted in. Mizzou leads 1-0. We're in the top of the first. A solo home run to center by Cam Durnan is the early difference. The windup and the pitch. That one missed inside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Watching to see if Sean James might tap the helmet. The ABS challenge system is in play in Hoover this week. First time it's been used in college baseball. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball to short. Ryder Woodson gloves it. He'll throw over to first, and that will retire Mizzou in the top half of the opening frame. Durnan's 1-out home run has given the Tigers a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of 1. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. there's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Mizzou leads Mississippi State 1-0 as the Diamond Dogs come to bat for the first time here in the bottom of inning number 1. This baseball season, all first innings are brought to you by Bank First, a better way to bank. Garrick Fry will be the first to face left-hander Brady Kellenbrink, 6'2", 205-pound sophomore from Baldwin, Missouri. Parkway South High School has been a primary starter for the Tigers throughout this season, but as we heard from Tex Little earlier today during the pregame show, a guy who has been known to hit a wall, and State would like to see that happen today as the Bulldogs try to win a big game here to solidify their hopes of hosting a regional next weekend in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. So left-handers have given State problems at times this year. When you're a hitter and you see a lefty on the mound, what are things that can help you have some success?
Well, obviously, that's why you see lefties come in to face lefties. They want to spin that ball. They want to spin it away from lefties to try to get them to pull off the ball. So it's for me, it's a little bit of a broken record, but you've got to use the entire field. If you get pull happy with him, you're going to hit ground ball after ground ball to the 4-hole to the second baseman, and everybody plays that shift now, so there's just going to be no hits over there. You got to use the whole field, and when I say the whole field, I'm not talking about hit the ball left-handed down the left field line. Just use that left center gap. Just stay behind the ball, let it travel a bit deeper. I don't think he's going to throw it by you, but you got to kind of stay disciplined and take what he gives you.
So here's Garrick Fry to lead things off for State. Switch hitter will bat right-handed against left-hander Brady Kellenbrink to start the game. Mizzou in black tops today. Mizzou in gold letters across the chest, a gold number on the back over white pants. Black hats with gold bills. Here's the pitch from Kellenbrink, and he delivers strike one. 90-mile-an-hour fastball to Garrick Fry, and the count's 0-1. An italicized gold M on the front of those caps for Mizzou today. Wind up in the 0-1 from Kellenbrink. Fouled back halfway up the screen by Fry, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Stayed in the white 85 tops today. Over white pants, maroon letters and numbers, maroon hats, maroon bills with the white M over S on the front of the lids. 1-0 Mizzou, just underway in the bottom of the first. Here's the 0-2. Fry puts a charge into one into left field. Jamal George onto the warning track 2 steps. Reaches up and makes the grab in the left field corner. And there's one out.
Got it just a little bit off the end of the bat. The changeup that was up, put a good swing on it, but just caught it a little bit out on the end of the bat.
It has been a little surprising through a day of the SEC tournament how the ball has left the ballpark as frequently as it has. This park usually plays really big, but that was not the case yesterday on a hot day. Here's Ace Reese, and Reese takes strike one over the outside corner. 0-1 on the left-hander, hitting .332 this year, all SEC first-team member. 20 homers for Ace this year. That leads the club. Here's the 0-1. The fastball up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. The breeze is shifted now, blowing out toward the left field corner. Flagpole right behind the .335 marker. Down the left field line. Here's the pitch. Reese drives one high in the air into right field. It's going to hang up in front of the scoreboard out there in right. Pierre Seals, 1 step onto the track, makes the catch, and there are 2 out.
Kind of same thing with Ace. Got a pitch to hit. Just got underneath it a little bit. Caught it off the end, but he had a pretty good swing at him.
So 2 up, 2 down for State. Couple fly ball outs to start the game for the Bulldogs. And here is Noah Sullivan. Noah had a big weekend at Texas A&M, including a multi-home run game on Saturday against the Aggies. Comes in swinging a pretty good bat. Here's the pitch to him. And he takes a letter-high strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Plate umpire today is Jeff Wright. Jeff Head is at first base. Eric Gaucher at second. And Derek Malika is at third.
Veteran crew.
Yep. 0-1. Changeup sailed high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Noah Sullivan.
Jeff Head, I think, is one of those guys from back from my days. That's been, that's a long time ago.
Jeff's been around at least 2 decades. I can attest to that. Veteran umpire. Here's the 1-1 to Sullivan. A swing and a foul. Caught the mask of Cerna, the catcher, and then skipped back to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think it was Jeff about 2 years ago over here. I actually saw him in the hallway and talked to him, and he's one of those umpires. He remembers everybody, and remembered umpiring some games I pitched.
Ball and 2 strikes on Sullivan. Here it comes, and a swing and a miss. So he chases a pitch to top of the zone. Sullivan down on strikes, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for Mississippi State. After an inning, Mizzou with a 1-0 lead here at the SEC tournament over the Bulldogs. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app. Play ball!
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're on to the second inning here at the Hoover Met with Mizzou leading Mississippi State 1-0. A solo home run by the Tigers' Cam Durnan off the batter's eye in straightaway center field. Difference in the game so far. They'll have their number 5 hitter to lead things off here in the second. That's Donovan Jordan to face Tomas Valinkas. Tomas recently named the winner of the Boo Ferris Trophy. He received that award on Monday in Jackson. Best college baseball player in the state of Mississippi. And this year, Jay in particular, that is quite an honor. The field this year for that award may be as stacked as it's been in quite some time.
Yeah, it really was. And you think about, you had a guy, his teammate, Ace Reese, obviously that was having a pretty good year. So, yeah, it was quite an honor. Named after one of the great baseball men in the state of Mississippi.
Dave Boo Ferris. Here's the pitch to Donovan Jordan, a right-hander, and he takes strike 1 from Tomas Valinkas. That's a fastball at 96. Of course, Boo Ferris played for Mississippi State in his college days and went on to play for the Boston Red Sox. Here's the 0-1 swing and a miss. Slider that time, and a nasty one on that outside third. It's 0-2.
Well, if you know baseball in Mississippi, everybody knows the name Boo Ferris, and he was a one of a kind as a player and a coach at Delta State for a long time. But as a man, he was unreal.
0-2, a mile-high pop-up on the left side of the infield. Ryder Woodson, the shortstop, waving his arm, says he's got it. He does, and there's one away.
I had flown in during an off day one year during the season, and I was just in a rush getting back to the airport to go back the next day, and I'm walking through the airport, and I feel a hand on my shoulder, and it was Coach Ferris, and just he knew exactly my last outing, when I pitched, how I did. Just a great man when it comes to baseball.
Left-hander Caden Peer now, left-on-left matchup with Valinkas, who starts in with a fastball at the letters on the inside third for strike 1. Peer hit a grand slam here yesterday against Ole Miss. Significant hit that helped the Tigers build a 5-run lead at that point, 7-2. 0-1. A knee-high strike on the inside third. 0-2 on Caden Peer. That grand slam, just his second home run of the season. Played in 41 games, only 14 RBIs. Valinkas fires a slider at the top of the zone. That misses high, and here's a challenge for the first time today.
I think he's going to win this one, too.
Sean James challenging that pitch was in the strike zone. So Mississippi State challenges, and we look to the video board in right center field where they put up the strike zone, and it is strike 3. Sean James wins Mississippi State's first ever ABS challenge. Pierre looks at strike 3, and there are 2 gone.
That's a good job by Sean. He recognized it immediately, and it's to me, I like it. I mean, I know the umpires hate it, but, I mean, our goal is to get these pitches correctly called, and he did the right thing there. I mean, that was every bit a strike.
All of our strikeouts brought to you by Hancock Whitney. Here is Jamal George. He hits a sinking line drive into shallow center field, and that is down for a base hit. Bryce Chance will play it off the hop, throws it in behind second base to hold George with a 2-out single.
Well, Missouri's figuring it out too, and Tomas is attacking that strike zone, which we talked about earlier, and coming back off short days, and they're swinging earlier. They're a lot more aggressive so far, it seems like, this second inning.
So 1 on with 2 out. Mizzou leads the game 1-0. We're in the top half of the second inning. And here's the number 8 hitter, Chris Patterson. Quick toss over to first, and that'll send George diving back onto the bag. So State has won an ABS challenge. Each team receives 3 challenges. As long as you win, you get to keep your challenge. A fastball finds the outside third for a called strike to Patterson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Worth noting, too, not exactly like the major leagues. The strike zone that we're measuring with the ABS here at the SEC tournament is 19 inches in width. The throw over to first. Stallman has to drop down to a knee to reel this one in. No play on George. Those 19 inches account for the 17 inches of white on home plate and then 1 inch of black on either side. And every hitter's strike zone is different. All of the players in the tournament were measured for ABS. A bouncing ball foul goes wide of the coaching lines in that big patch of foul territory off third. And Patterson's in a 2-strike hole. So the upper boundary of the strike zone on every player, 58% of the batter's height. The lower boundary of the strike zone, 23% of the batter's height. Here's the 0-2 to Patterson. High and tight with a fastball. He leans back out of the way of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Challenges may be initiated by the pitcher, the catcher, or the batter. Just like in the big leagues. 1-2 on Chris Patterson with George at first. And now Patterson asks for time. Mizzou leads the game 1-0. We're in the top of the second inning. A solo home run to center by Cam Durnan with 1 out in the first is the difference in the game. I think it's interesting, too, that it was a high strike. Most of the challenges that were won here yesterday were on high strikes, pitches at the top of the zone. Here's the 1-2 to Patterson. Swing and a miss. Valinkas blew a fastball by him at the top of the zone. That's 3 Hancock-Whitney strikeouts for Tomas Valinkas. And Mizzou leaves a runner at first base here in the top of the second. Middle of 2, Mizzou 1, State 0. This is Mississippi State baseball from Lear Field.
Dudy Noble Field, a college baseball mecca where thunder and lightning once dominated the diamond. Championship hopes spring eternal, and an electric atmosphere ignites the Bulldogs to victory. This Mississippi State tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Bulldogs, only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
State about to bat for the second time in this game, trailing 1-0 here at the Hoover Met with Jay Powell. I'm Neil Price. Glad to have you with us for State's first game in the SEC tournament here in 2026. Before we get this half inning underway, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. 10 seconds for a station ID. This is Bulldogs Baseball. Mississippi-owned Country Pleasin' has been proudly serving their award-winning sausage, bringing families together for over 50 years. Whether you're in the left field lounge cheering on the Bulldogs or you're cooking at home, remember Country Pleasin' Sausage, the official sausage of Mississippi State baseball. Jacob Parker for openers for State here in the bottom of the second inning. Left-handed hitting right fielder. Set to face Brady Kellenbrink, who was really good. Got a couple fly ball outs and a strikeout in his first inning of work to set the side down in order. And he's a guy who's trying to use this ballpark to his advantage, not afraid to throw a ball over the plate and let State try to hit it out of here. Here's the pitch to Parker, and he swings and hits a two-hopper through the right side. Scooped up out in right field by Pierre Seals. That'll hold Parker with State's first hit. A leadoff single here in the second.
Well, I tell you, the kid in Texas is really good, the freshman, but I don't know of a better freshman in this league, Jacob Parker, this year. He has had an incredible year.
Yeah, just looking at his numbers, I mean, all freshman team selection, one of two on the State team along with Jack Bauer. Parker hitting .326 in his rookie season with 9 doubles, a triple, 13 homers, and 50 batted in. Here's Vitas Valencias. And the right-hander takes a ball low over the dish. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 Mizzou. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Jacob Parker finished 12th in the league in slugging percentage this year as a freshman. Here's the pitch from Kellenbrink, working out of the stretch. Bouncing ball over the screen at Missouri's third base dugout. And that's strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike on Vitas Valencias. But when you think about power, for a freshman to hit 13 homers in 46 games, pretty impressive.
It's real impressive. And to me, coming in as a freshman hitter is so much more difficult doing it as a pitcher.
1-1. Valencia swings and fouls that one off the mask of Mateo Serna, the Missouri catcher. It'll skip back behind the home plate circle, and it's strike 2 on Vitas.
Normally you just have a little bit of a growing pains, and as a freshman hitter, it's just so hard to jump in this league and see the stuff you see. And, boy, he has just hit the ground running really from day one.
As a short lead off first, here's the 1-2 to Valencias. Looks at a ball high and away, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2 on Vitas Valencias, facing left-hander Brady Kellenbrink here in the second. Jacob Parker is the tying run. He's on over at first. Jace Wojta, the Tigers' first baseman, holding him on. Kellenbrink takes a long look, now delivers the 2-2. An off-speed pitch dances down and in, and the count's full to Vitas Valencias. Sun still hiding behind those white clouds out behind the fence in right and center. There is a patch of blue over left center field right now, but all white clouds outside of that one spot. A long hold, and now a move to first. Parker is back on the bag. A lot of folks from Mississippi State seated behind that first base dugout. Most of them up in the second deck of seats underneath the cover here. The pitch, swing, and a miss. He got Vitas to chase high and away. It was a fastball, and that's the second strikeout for Brady Kellenbrink inside of 2 innings.
Yeah, got him on that high fastball. It was really a ball probably up out of the strike zone. It's just a hard pitch to lay off. Tell you, I'd be up in the second level. I'd be in that shade today. A lot of fans going, man. They're swinging the green fans they give you here.
It is humid. You can feel the air. It has a heaviness to it as Reed Stallman, State's left-handed hitting first baseman, checks in, and he takes the ball high and away, ball 1. Left-on-left matchup here with Kellenbrink. 1-0 Mizzou. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. Parker started this inning with a leadoff single to right. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul at the plate, and that one skips off the instep, I think, of Reed's foot.
I got him good.
It's strike one as number 7 in that white jersey tries to walk this one off, circling around toward Mississippi State's first base dugout.
Got him right inside the right knee, right above. Hey, he's got that guard on his shin down there, and it got him right about a baseball height above that guard. I mean, it got him in a spot where there ain't a lot of muscle or fat. It got all bone.
Ouch. Back in and ready to go, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's the count on Stallman. A long hold and now a move to first. Parker's back on the bag. Reed Stallman finished the regular season ranked inside the top 25 in the league in slugging percentage, .627 this year. He's got some pop in that bat. Another long hold by Kellen Brink, another move to first, and again, no play. Wind blowing out, 2 left now. That flag at a 90-degree angle out behind the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reed Stallman. Third baseman Patterson a step behind the grass. Here's the pitch. That one is ripped into right field, right at Seals. Coming on, leans in, loses the lid, makes the catch. A 1-hop throw back to first. Won't be in time to double up Parker. And there are 2 away.
Good swing by Reed right there. He hit it on the nose, just hit it unfortunately right to that right fielder. I thought it was going to have a little top spin on it. Thought it was going to get down there for a minute, but just hung up enough for Seals to run under it.
So 2 up, 2 down following Parker's leadoff single. Jacob Parker still at first, and here is Bryce Chance. And as they change out baseballs between pitcher and catcher, we get a few extra bars of an Alabama native, Hank Williams Jr., and Bryce Chance's walk-up. Great hit of his called Dinosaur. For a fifth-year guy, I think that's appropriate. A ball upstairs, a runner goes, a throw down to second, and the tag, and the call is out. State wants to challenge.
I think it's a good challenge, too. It was close, and I think he's safe, to be honest with you. I think he got his right foot in there, and he tagged him on his knee. But it's definitely a good challenge because it is really, really close. I almost thought he was safe. We'll get a good look at it here for sure.
I'm like you. I think he's safe.
I think
tagged him on the knee, and it looked like his foot was on the bag before the tag got there.
Yep, I think you're exactly right. You know, it's you never want a tag go toward the body. You go toward the bag with that tag, and I think that got him in there. I think he's going to be safe.
It is still collaborative review. The league office takes a look at all of these plays. Good news is in the SEC tournament's a local call from Hoover to Birmingham. Call on the field is out. After review, that call has been overturned. It's a stolen base for Parker. State has 2 challenges remaining. And Bryce Chance gets a chance to try and drive in State's first run with Mizzou leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Stolen base brought to you by Wade Incorporated, Mississippi's #1 John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a deer but a bulldog. Here's the pitch to Chance, and there's a strike on the inside third, an off-speed pitch. 0-1 on Bryce.
That was maybe a challengeable one right there. It's close. I thought it was down a little bit. It's hard to waste them, I think, early in the count. I think they've probably talked about when to use them and when not to.
Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball. In the hole at third off the glove of Patterson, who cut in front of Durnan at short, and Bryce Chance is going to reach. Parker was running on contact. He goes from second to third, and State has runners on the corners now with 2 out.
Put the ball in play. Sometimes good things happen, and that's what Bryce does. He doesn't strike out. It's a little slow roller up kind of between short and third, and they're going to give him an error, I guess, but I mean, it's a tough play regardless.
The third baseman, Patterson, went a long way to his left into the lane of Durnan, the shortstop. So now first and third for Ryder Woodson, and Ryder takes a pitch up high for ball 1. E5.
Patterson was the only guy that can make the play. I mean, if he doesn't cut it off, there's no way the shortstop is going to be able to make that play.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The 1-0 on its way to Woodson, and the right-handed shortstop takes a strike on the outside third. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Mizzou. Tigers hit a solo home run to center field. Durnan with 1 out in the first inning has given the Tigers the lead early today. Ball a strike on Woodson. Here it comes. In the air, down the left field line, hooking foul, and that's going to bounce into the screen down the sidewall for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It all started when Jacob Parker singled to right field. With 2 outs, he stole second base. Chance reached on a fielding error. Here's the pitch to Woodson. Up high. A delay steal from State. Chance will draw a full arm fake from Cerna, but no throw, and Bryce Chance will steal second base. So it's 2-2 now on Woodson. A second stolen base in this inning for Mississippi State. Again, all of our stolen bases are brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Nothing runs like a deer but a bulldog. Base hit could score 2. 2-2. Foul back over the screen coming our way. The big leaguer was ready over here. He had both those hands out, hoping he'd get a crack at it, but it winds up just short off the facade and back down into the seats.
This is my play. If I'm going to get one, it's going to be here. Now, that one there had a little hair on it. I don't know if I could have handled that. Something would have broke hand, monitor, something.
Another 2-2 in the air. Hit pretty well. George going back on the track. He's out of room. That's into the bullpen. And it's a 3-run home run for Ryder Woodson to put State in front here in the bottom of the second inning.
Ryder hits left-handed pitching very well. He struggles with that right-handed slider. We've seen it a lot, but obviously with a lefty, you don't have to worry about it. Everything's coming into you for the most part. Boy, he crushed that one to left field.
Ryder Woodson with his 6th home run of the year. RBIs 34, 35, and 36. And State is in front 3-1 as Sean James checks in with the bases clear. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch got Sean out in front. 0-2. Brady Kellenbrink surrenders his 13th home run in 71 2/3. Here's the 0-1 in the air. Drifting foul back out behind first, and this is going to get onto the concourse down the right field line. 0-2 on Sean James. So how about that? A challenge on the stolen base at second gets overturned. That keeps the inning going. An error, and then the home run. A foul ball straight back over the screen. That's going to get onto the roof of the Hoover Met. Still 0-2 on James. The challenge was a good use, and to your point, just by putting the ball in play, sometimes good things happen. Yep. Chance finds a way on, and then that sets the stage for the Woodson heroics. 0-2 to James. He takes strike 3 on the outside edge. James will not challenge. He'll make his way back into the dugout, and that will end the second inning. But State with a 3-run home run from Ryder Woodson, his 6th of the year, has taken the lead at the end of 2. The Diamond Dogs 3, Missouri 1. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
hit by Ryder Woodson, a 3-run home run, has given State a 3-1 lead over Mizzou as we start the third inning here at the Hoover Met on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Glad to have you with us with Jay Powell. I'm Neil Price. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Tigers to face Tomas Valinkas here in inning number 3. Tomas had the one hiccup, gave up the home run with one out to Durnan back in the first, Jay, but beyond that, really good. 3 strikeouts inside of 2 innings, so looks like the Tomas Valinkas we've come to know and love here in 2026.
Yeah, you're probably going to start the second time, starting to work through that lineup again, the second time through. You're probably going to start seeing a little bit more off-speed pitches earlier in the count because it looked like Missouri that last inning started hunting that fastball early.
Here's Pierre Seals, right-handed hitting right fielder. Valinkas gets him to swing and miss at a slider for strike 1. Tomas Valinkas also first team All-SEC. We told you he won the Boo Ferris Trophy on Monday in Jackson. Here's the 0-1 to Seals. That's roped through the left side and down for a hit. Played on a hop by Vitas Valencius out in left field, but it's a leadoff single for Seals and the third hit for Mizzou in the game.
He's got a fastball up the zone and hammered it.
Tomas Valinkas coming off a 7 strikeout performance against Texas A&M. He had 13 Ks against Auburn 2 starts ago in his final home start of the regular season. A toss over to first and Seals diving back onto the bag. Seals is 5 out of 6 in stolen bases this year. 3-1 lead for State here in the top half of the third. Wojta is 0 for 1. Grounded out to second base back in the first. Bounces this one foul in the left-handed batter's box and will roll to the door of State's first base dugout. Strike 1. Wojta has some pop in the bat. 13 homers in 51 games this year. Valinkas working out of the stretch. A snap throw over to first. No play for Stallman.
Seals looks like he may have been thinking about taking off on that one.
Another throw over, and this time Seals will step back onto the bag. Jace Wojta has 51 RBIs. He's only the 5th Missouri player in the last decade to have 50 or more RBI in a single season. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball foul. That'll dribble over to the screen at the first base dugout. And it's 0-2 on Jace Wojta. That stat may be a little bit of a reflection of the Tigers' struggles in recent years. They've just not had that 1 or 2 guys in their lineup that have been big run producers. Carrick Jackson's trying to find some of those in his 3rd year as the coach. Toss over to first and no play on Seals. Tomas Valinkas fighting a 2-front battle here, trying to make sure he keeps that runner over there to keep the double play in order. 0-2 on Jace Wojta. Reese has moved over from third into short right field. Here's the pitch. That is strike 3 on the outside corner. Fastball at 95 freezes Wojta. 4th strikeout for Valinkas inside of 2 1/3.
One of his better located fastballs of that at bat too, right on that outside corner. And you know, Missouri this year has gotten better pitching. They really have. They're still not elite by any means, but the pitching has got a little bit better this year. But offensively, they just have not been very consistent.
So now Cam Durnan for the second time, who hit the solo homer off the batter's eye in straightaway center with 1 out in the first. Toss over to first to keep Seals close. Second homer in as many days for Cam Durnan, native of Lynn Creek, Missouri. He hit a 2-run home run against Ole Miss in the top of the 3rd yesterday to help Mizzou tie the game at that point. Another throw over to first. Seals steps back on the bag. 3-1 lead for State here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Seals has reached on a leadoff single. Wojta has struck out. Valinkas in the stretch off the third base side of the mound, comes home, and he delivers a slider for a strike. 0-1. All the shade in the ballpark is down the first base line. Fastball misses outside to Durnan. 1 ball and 1 strike on the right-hander. Those folks who are seated behind Missouri's third base dugout are out getting a really good suntan right now. Those clouds are starting to break out behind the right field fence. A toss over, and no play on Durnan. But the good news, too, is the sun has moved back behind the roof of the grandstand to a degree as it continues its climb toward midday.
Helps us out.
It sure does. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cam Durnan. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. It's a strike on the inside half. A throw down, the tag, and the call is out. Garrick Fry covered and put the tag on, and no argument from Seals, who trots toward the third base dugout.
I think he came off the bag. That's what I think. I think Garrick held that tag on, and
he did come off. You can see his hand come loose.
Yep, you just hold that tag, and we see so many more guys do that now. You just hold that tag, and Seals was reaching with that oven mitt. He just ran out of inches.
So 2-4 at second base for the second out. The count's a ball and 2 strikes on Cam Durnan, and he fouls a pitch back a third of the way up the screen. Still 1-2.
Well, if you're sitting out in the sun listening, make sure you hydrate.
And use some sunscreen.
Yes, we see it every year over here. Somebody gets too hot, and the EMTs have to help them out.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Tomas Valinkas starting to rack up strikeouts. That's 5 of them now inside of 3 innings of work. All of our strikeouts brought to you by Hancock Whitney. A 0 in the top of the third. Middle of the third inning, State leads Mizzou 3-1. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Okay, so let me get this right. I get a gig of C-Spire home fiber.
Yep.
And nationwide 5G wireless.
Yep.
On one plan for just $99 a month.
Correct.
So when does it go up?
I'm sorry?
The price. When does it go up?
It doesn't. It's guaranteed for 5 years.
All right. I'm in.
Introducing the One Plan from C-Spire. Fiber, internet, and wireless. Just $99 a month. There's more to see at C-Spire. Customer inspired. C-Spire One Plan available for a limited time in eligible areas only. See cspire.com for details.
On to the bottom of the third inning, a 3-1 lead for Mississippi State over Missouri here in the SEC tournament. Bulldogs' first game of the weekend, or week I should say, and Missouri's second after knocking off Ole Miss yesterday in the 9-16 game. Top of the order for State here in the third, Fry, Reese, and Sullivan. Jay, after a breakthrough inning for the Diamond Dogs to play in the second, that 3-run home run by Ryder Woodson, but a lot of things had to go right for that to happen. A successful challenge on a play at second base when Jacob Parker tried to steal second. A ball that was put in play by Bryce Chance with 2 outs that led to an error. And that set the stage for Woodson, who delivered when he got a mistake pitch, and he hammered that ball to left field.
He sure did. Hit a long way. And, you know, Ryder's, like we said, well, against lefties, it kind of takes away that breaking ball going down and away from him. And he got a hanger, and he hammered it to left field. And good job by Bryce, hustling down the line, giving the next guy up a chance.
Here's Garrick Fry, switch hitter batting from the right side. Hits a dribbler back to the mound. Picked up by Kellen Brink. He'll throw over to first, and there's 1 out. Threw him a changeup, and Garrick was way out in front and just capped it.
Sure was. And, you know, obviously you want to keep adding on, because if you could get a lead and finish this thing in 7 innings, it'd be great. But also, you know, the more runs you can score, it changes the way you have to use that bullpen, and you can keep some of these high-leverage guys for tomorrow.
Winner of this game gets Georgia, the SEC regular season champion, tomorrow. Here's Reese, 0 for 1 with a fly ball to right. Takes a sweeper outside for ball 1. Ace Reese, second straight year as a first-team All-SEC selection. 1-0. Takes a letter high strike on the outside edge. 1-1. Finished the year leading the league in doubles with 21. His 20 home runs, ranking third in the league. He also finished third in the league in total bases. 1-1, a big rip, but a fastball up and away. That'll cost him strike 2. 1-2 on Ace Reese. This is a guy who's been in the conversation, though, for every major national award throughout the year. So no surprise to see him among the league's best again. 1-2, he looks at strike 3 on the outside corner. Looks disappointed with himself, too, after that trip to the plate. A strikeout makes the second out here in the bottom of the third.
Good pitch, good location right there. I mean, a Kellenbrink, just a really nice fastball down and away on that black part of the plate.
That's 4 strikeouts for Kellenbrink. And here is Noah Sullivan. So if you're wondering on some close pitches, you haven't seen State's hitters or Missouri's hitters, for that fact, use an ABS challenge. I'll give you some insight into that. Here's a high fly ball in foul ground off first, towering, and it will wind up bouncing on the concourse and about 4 rows deep in that upper level of seats behind the first base dugout. Strike 1. So Carrick Jackson, the Missouri coach, kind of outlined his strategy with the ABS in his post-game press conference yesterday. Said that his hitters weren't allowed to make challenges unless they were instructed from the dugout. There's a changeup for a strike on the outer third to Sullivan, 0-2. And his logic for that was, he said the final weekend of the regular season against Texas, he told his hitters, we'll shadow challenge. You can tap your hip in the game if you believe that there's a pitch you should look at. We'll chart it, and we'll give you the results at the end of the weekend. A ball high and in to Sullivan is ball 1. So at the end of the weekend, he charted them, and his hitters were 0 for 5. And he said, we'll tell you when you need to use the challenge. You're not quite ready for this yet. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch. A swing and a miss. Sullivan chased a fastball coming high and in. 5th strikeout for Kellenbrink, and that will end this 3rd inning. We are on to the 4th, a 3-1 lead for State over Mizzou. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Well, back here at the top of the 4th inning, Tomas Valinkas is finishing up his warm-up pitches. He'll be facing 3, 4, and 5, Blaze Ward, Mateo Serna, and Donovan Jordan. Blaze Ward struck out in the 1st inning. Serna grounded out to short, and Donovan Jordan flew out to short.
So here is Ward to start the 4th inning, with State leading at 3-1. Blaze Ward struck out. Jay told you that just a moment ago. First time he faced Tomas Valinkas. Tomas winds up and fires, and there's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on that outside corner. And it's 0-1 on the left-handed hitting second baseman. Here's the 0-1. Two-hopper to first. Stallman a long way to his right. Can't get to it. It's gloved by Fry. Backing up at second. Valinkas covers from the mound. Takes a throw on the bag, and State gets the out. Good team defense by the Bulldogs there to get the first out in the inning.
I tell you what. They're going to look at it, obviously, but what an athletic play by Tomas. I mean, you can tell that kid's a great athlete. Reed had to go a long way to his right, and then Garrett couldn't get to it. He kicked off of him, and then Garrett Fry was behind him and made a play, and they're showing the replay now. I can't, well, maybe we'll see better here on the monitor. It's just, it's hard to tell. I mean, I think Jeff saw it better than anybody at first base, Jeff Head, and it looks like he just kind of got his cleat. Yeah, he got his cleat on the back part of the bag, I believe. What a play. My gosh. What they say, pitchers aren't athletes?
Tomas has shown us a couple of times inside the first 4 innings that he's pretty athletic today.
Yeah. Somebody had told me, and I have verified this, that he was a two-way guy at Virginia his freshman year.
That's the first time I've heard that. I'm not going to tell you that you're incorrect, but it's the first time I've heard it.
The first time I heard it was the other day. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. It was my son, Carson, who's a freshman at State. So I'm not saying Carson's wrong or right, but he did say, he also said that here that Aiden Till was a two-way guy at Virginia.
I have heard that.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I think they're looking at his left toe, and it looks like it's, I mean, I don't think they can overturn it.
Call is confirmed after review. Again, great team defense by State. Stallman went a long way to his right into the hole. Got the leather on it. Fry a long way to his left to back it up over there from second. And Valinkas with a heck of a job to cover.
Jeff Head's got the camera on his hat. He looks like a special ops guy over there with everything sticking off his hat.
So one away from Mateo Cerna. And Cerna takes strike one. 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to short against Tomas back in the first inning. State leads the game 3-1. We're in the top of the fourth inning here in Hoover. Tomas working off the third base side of the mound, fires down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomas has shown a high level of competitiveness, not just today, but throughout his first season in Starkville. Sets at the chest, the windup, and the 1-1 in the air down the right field line. That bullet is drifting foul. A bunch of kids gathering on the concourse. That 2-tiered berm down the right field corner, and one of them comes away with a souvenir. Strike 2 on Cerna. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tomas's mother says that his competitiveness, as well as that of his brother Vitas, comes from their upbringing, their parents, a ball down and in, both of which were very good athletes. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mateo Cerna. Mother Veda was trained as an Olympic cyclist in the former Soviet Union. Dad Joseph was a speed skater. Cerna swings and misses at a slider just off the outside edge. He's down on strikes, and that is 6 strikeouts for Tomas Valinkas now in 3 2/3. Pretty good bloodline when you talk about, and those sports in particular. I mean, mom an Olympic level cyclist, dad a speed skater. When you're talking about living in that part of the world, those are huge sports in those countries. National heroes that come from those sports. Here's Donovan Jordan with the bases clear and 2 out. And the right-hander takes down and in from Tomas Valinkas for ball 1. And to say that both of them have demonstrated toughness this year, I think you don't have to watch very long to see it from either Tomas or Vitas. A high fly ball into shallow right toward the line. Wrong run for Parker. Crosses into foul ground, and the right fielder will flag this one down in the grass in foul territory. So a 1-2-3 frame for Tomas Valinkas. He's thrown 4 strong innings today. State has a 3-1 lead over Mizzou in the middle of the 4th. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C-Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C-Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C-Spire, customer inspired.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at the Hoover Met. State leading Mizzou 3-1 in the Bulldogs' first game here in the 2026 SEC tournament. 4 spot will come up for State here in this inning with Jacob Parker to lead things off against Mizzou left-hander Brady Kellenbrink. Kellenbrink has produced his share of strikeouts now, 5 of those in 3 innings of work today. What's allowed him to produce so much swing and miss?
Well, his fastball command's been pretty good, and he's been able to elevate it and get some chase up in the zone. And he doesn't throw overly hard. We've seen 89, kind of 91, but being able to elevate that fastball is playing up the zone a little bit, and we hadn't been able to lay off it.
If you look at his last 3 starts, and again now, really good competition in there. One against Georgia on the road, one against Texas on the road, another against Vanderbilt. As he gets ready to face Parker in a left-on-left matchup, here it comes, and Jacob fouls that one over the screen, and that'll bounce off one of the sweeps behind home for strike one. This is where things begin to get shaky for them. Just 4 innings at Georgia back on May the 5th. Gave up 4 runs. A ball high and away to Parker. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just 3 innings against Texas last week. Gave up 4 earned runs on 7 hits. And remember, Tex Little told us he hits a wall occasionally. Last inning is the worst inning for him. Here's the 1-1. There's a strike on the inside edge to Parker. Fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So let's keep an eye on him in this inning, his 4th today, and see if that storyline continues to hold true or if he can flip the script today. Here's the 1-2. Parker takes up and away a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2. Kellenbrink's thrown 46 pitches. Left-hander against left-hander. And the pitch. Parker with a swing and a miss. So after fastball, he comes back with a change. And Parker becomes the 6th strikeout victim for Kellenbrink today.
Well, the pitch before that was one Jacob kind of kicked himself on. He got a fastball outer third, and he took it. And you could tell he kind of spun around a little bit frustrated himself because that was the one he should have pulled the trigger on.
So the bases are empty for Vitas Valencia, 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. 3-1 State. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Told this story several times about Vitas Valencius, but this is his last year in college baseball. He's playing with his brother Tomas for the first time in their college careers. Here's the 1-0. A strike, an off-speed pitch on the outside third. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he has said that he's trying not to waste any of the opportunities. And when you look at the quality of his at-bats, Jay, over the course of 31 games, it would be hard to argue that he's given many away. This is a guy who really battles at the plate.
You're 100% right. And really he's having a good year, hitting .353, hit a few home runs, driven him some runs. I mean, he's having a good year for him kind of to go out on, but you're 100% right. He gives you a good at-bat. 2-1,
a swing and a foul tip into Cerna's mitt behind home, and it's 2-2 now on Vitas Valencius.
I don't know how much of a shot he may get at the next level pro ball-wise, but just a solid college baseball player. I mean, he's had a good career.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And here it comes, and that's fouled back, and we'll get on to the roof above State's first base dugout. 2-2. I laughed. I was telling a story about when he was younger, hitting a home run in a wiffle ball game and actually running home, being thought that he was being told to go home. 2-2. He takes strike three. Didn't see that one well. He wants to challenge it. Taps the helmet. So we'll get a look here. So the second ABS challenge for State, first by a State hitter today. And as they put it on the video board, that is a ball low. A good eye by Vitas Valencius, and I mean by millimeters. So it's 3-2 on Valencius. State retains that challenge. Bulldogs still have 3 ABS challenges in the game. 2 for 2 to start today. Now can he do something with the opportunity? 3-2. Hits it high and foul, off first. Long run for Wojta. He's going to run out of room. This will wind up in the third row of seats behind the first base dugout. Still 3-2. But as I'm telling that story at Texas A&M last weekend, Vitas runs into one and hits a home run. So I saw him in the lobby of the hotel the next morning, and I said, I just wanted to shake your hand, congratulate you, and thank you for making me look really good the other night because you hit that home run right in the middle of that story. And a man of few words looks up, grins, nods his head, and says, thanks. Fastball, cut on and miss. Valencius is down on strikes, and that's 7 strikeouts for Kellen Brink today.
Well, chased out of the zone. That's the pitch he's giving us some trouble with when he gets ahead. When he gets 2 strikes, throws that fastball up and away, and it's just got a little ride to it, and it's hard for us to lay off of it. So definitely don't need to let this man settle in and give him 5 or 6 innings. We need to get in that bullpen as soon as possible.
He struck out 4 in a row dating back to the last inning. Here is Reed Stallman, and Reed with a swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch up at the top of the zone. And that's strike 1. 3-1 State. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bulldogs got a 3-run home run from Ryder Woodson in the bottom of the 2nd. Wind up in the 0-1 from Kellen Brink. Hit in the air into center. Right at the center fielder, Caden Peer. He'll reach up to make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th. We are on to the 5th inning with State in front of Mizzou, 3-1. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Top of the 5th here at the Hoover Met with Mississippi State leading Mizzou 3-1. Glad to have you with us today. Beautiful day for baseball, even though it is early. With Jay Powell, I'm Neil Price. 5th inning of today's games brought to you by your Mid-South Ford dealers and the Ford F-150. Like the Bulldogs, the Ford F-150 has a strong tradition of greatness earned by outstanding capability and features like a mobile generator. That's how you create a legacy and the official truck of Mississippi State. Go Bulldogs. Peer, who made the last out in center for Mizzou, leads things off for the Tigers at the plate here in the 5th inning. He's 0 for 1 today, the victim of an ABS strikeout back in the 2nd when Sean James challenged an 0-2 pitch and got strike 3. State is 2 for 2 on ABS challenges today. First time that they've played in a game where ABS has been a part of the competition. Here's the pitch to Peer, and Peer takes up and away from Tomas Valinkas for ball 1.
Peer swinging that Astro popsicle bat.
Does kind of look like an old Astro Pop, doesn't it? Red on the cap, white in the middle, blue down where the barrel narrows. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike, a good fastball, or slider, sharp one at 87.
That's the first time I've ever seen a bat of that color.
Colors?
First thing that popped in my mind.
1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. Pierre with a big cut, and he came up empty at the fastball this time at 95, 1-2. That was the 50th pitch for Tomas Valinkas here in the 5th, so he's been very efficient today, even with 6 strikeouts. 1-2 to the right-hander. Grounded back up the middle, and that's going to get through into center field. So Pierre has his first hit and has Mizzou's 4th in the game. And the leadoff man is on for the Tigers here in the 5th inning. I guess if it were Brown where the handle narrow, or where the barrel narrowed, it would be a Neapolitan bat, not an Astro Pop bat. Speaking of which, 2 ice cream coolers down there, down the right field line, just for you, big guy.
I can't wait. Oh.
Here's a throw to first, and it gets away. Bounds off the tarp down the right side, and Pierre is going to take second. So an errant throw, State's first error in the game, and Mizzou has a runner in scoring position with the tying run at the plate.
Tried that quick step-off move, and just... He's really good at it, honestly, but he just kind of airmailed that one to the right side of Stallman. He had no shot at getting it.
George 1 for 1 with a single. Here's the pitch to the right-hander. He squares to bunt. He pulls back, and he takes a slider inside for ball 1. Make things happen with the only cards for Starkville, the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card and prepaid Regions Now card. To confidently show your Bulldogs pride, get your card today. Regions, the official bank of the SEC. Here's the pitch, and there is a strike on the inside edge. A fastball at 94 locks up George. 1-1. Single to center with 2 outs in the second. Runner at second here with no one out. And the daylight play on at second base as Woodson sneaks in the back door from short, but no play.
I think George is bunting.
Well, he squared earlier.
Yeah, I think he is. You got to be careful here because Reed's deep, and Tomas got to cover that third baseline.
Reese is a step in on the grass over at third. Here's the pitch. He squares, he pulls back, and he takes strike 2. A slider. 1-2.
There was a lot of moving parts right there. We're kind of glad he took it because Gehrig is holding the runner on at second. And once he saw that bunt, he's got to get to first. And Reed Stallman started charging, and he was deep. So it might not have worked out real well.
Another move to second base, just a casual toss back. This time it's Fry that'll step in front of the bag to take that throw. 1-2 on Jamal George. With 2 strikes on him, Reese is backed away at third, so the infield is playing deep on the left side. Stallman even with the bag at first. Here's the pitch, a ground ball to second. Fry's got it on the second hop. Just one play, that's to first. He'll throw out George. Pushes Pierre to third. That's as good as a bunt, and there's 1 out.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there by Jamal George. Got that runner over there to third base with less than 2 outs. That's situational hitting, and now it's going to be up to Chris Patterson to drive him home.
Patterson struck out against Tomas Valinkas back in the second. Tomas has struck out 6 today in 4 1/3. Throwing error by the pitcher allowed a runner to move to second after a leadoff single. Here's the pitch, and there's a ball outside to Patterson, another slider. 1 ball and no strikes. He is the tying run in a 3-1 game. Home runs have produced all of the runs today. Solo home run to center by Cam Durnan of Mizzou back in the first. And then Ryder Woodson with a 3-run, 2-out home run for State in the bottom of the second. A swing and a miss at a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chris Patterson. Valinkas from the stretch comes home. Down and in. Another slider. 2-1.
He's trying to get a swing and miss, obviously, with that runner at third base with less than 2 outs.
Mizzou trailed 2-0 early in its SEC tournament opener yesterday against Ole Miss, but erased that deficit in the top of the third. Here's the pitch, cut on and missed. Steady diet of sliders to Patterson, and it's 2-2.
That's exactly right. And like I said, he's trying to get a swing and miss. Obviously, strikeout doesn't score that run.
Tigers took the lead in the top of the fifth with a 5-run rally capped by a grand slam from Caden Peer. Here's the 2-2. Fouled over the top of the first base dugout, and that'll get into the back row of seats in the grandstand up in the shade. Still 2-2 on Chris Patterson.
Patterson got one right there. He could have done something well. Thank goodness he fouled it off. He's trying to bring that slider down and in again. He just left it in the middle of the plate.
Ole Miss got 4 in the bottom of the fifth and later tied the game at 8 in the bottom of the seventh. Here's a 2-2. In the air, into right field, coming toward the line. Parker into foul territory, makes the grab, spins and throws as the runner tags. This will be cut off in foul ground 2/3 of the way up the first base line. Peer comes in to score on a sacrifice fly, and the Tigers have manufactured a run to cut State's lead to 1. It is 3-2 now in the top of the fifth.
Nice job up here. Got something he could handle. By Patterson, got something he could handle and just got it into right field deep enough to score that run.
That error comes back to haunt State. Without the error, the runner's at second base at best if he's not doubled off. So now Pierre Seals with the bases clear. And the pitch to the 9-batter. It's up and away for ball 1. That RBI for Chris Patterson, his 14th of the year. Just to kind of finish how yesterday's game went for Mizzou, Ole Miss scored 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth, later tied the game at 8 in the bottom of the seventh. Then Mizzou scored 2 times the top of the 8th to take the lead for good. Here's the pitch, a half-swing strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Seals.
I was really surprised that Missouri could hold them after they took the lead. I thought Ole Miss would be able to rally and push some runs across late in the game. They just couldn't do it.
First SEC tournament win for Mizzou since 2017. Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss at a slider. 1-2 on Pierre Seals. Three to 2, State by a run. We're in the top of the fifth. 1-2 pitch. That's a half swing strike. Seals doesn't agree. No appeal and no argument. And it's strikeout number 7 for Tomas Valenkas. All of our strikeouts brought to you by Hancock Whitney. Mizzou gets a run with a hit, help from a State error. Halfway through this one, the Diamond Dogs lead the Tigers 3-2. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Dudy Noble Field, a college baseball mecca where thunder and lightning once dominated the diamond. Championship hopes spring eternal, and an electric atmosphere ignites the Bulldogs to victory. This Mississippi State tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Bulldogs, only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
To the bottom of the fifth inning with Mississippi State leading Mizzou 3-2. Elimination game here at the SEC tournament. Of course, now they're all elimination games. Tournament moved to a single elimination format a year ago when it became a 16-team event. With Jay Powell, I'm Neil Price. We're glad to have you with us on this Wednesday morning here in Central Alabama. Always fun to come to Hoover. The league does a great job with this event. It has a very big-time feel, and short of Omaha, you're not going to find a collection of talent, quality teams, top to bottom of the field anywhere else than what you will find this week here at the Hoover Met.
Yeah, and I've had these conversations with other coaches before, and honestly, this tournament here, the way it's set up is, obviously everybody wants to win the College World Series, but it's really a tougher tournament setup than CWS is. I mean, it's obviously the teams are elite, but you're just playing day after day. It's a grind to get through this thing.
Here's Bryce Chance, owner of a stolen base and a run today. He's 0 for 1, reached on an error. Takes the ball outside, ball 1. He's a guy who would like to help Mississippi State secure a regional next weekend. His final go-around with the team. Here's a 1-0. Takes a fastball up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Had a conversation with him in Tallahassee at the regional last year, and it has stuck with me since. That you want to talk about a guy who takes a lot of pride in putting this uniform on every day. 2-0, fouled back 2/3 of the way up the screen behind home. 2-1 on Chance. Said that it was the only thing he ever wanted to do when he was growing up. Was always a lifelong dream, and now he's getting to live it and would love to go on to play professionally if that opportunity were to present itself. But to hear somebody say they're living a dream, that's pretty special stuff. Here's the pitch, and there's a strike on the outside third, 2-2. And he has been, in a lot of ways, the heart and soul of this particular team because of the time and the sweat equity he's got in the program.
100%. I think his teammates respect that, too. And he's really, like his walkout song, he's really a dinosaur.
2-2 high and foul down the right field line. That's going to reach the next to last row of seats in that bottom section down the right field line.
He's, in the sense of with the NIL and the portal nowadays, you just don't see guys stay in the program as long as he does. But like you said, he grew up in the state, loves the program. It's all he wanted to do.
2-2 outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He does little things like putting the ball in play with 2 outs back in that second inning to give himself an opportunity to reach base, even though he got some help from the Mizzou defense. Here's the payoff. Off the handle, a high pop-up in foul ground back behind the plate. This is drifting over toward the dugout. It gets into the first base dugout and out of play. So it's still 3-2 on Bryce Chance.
And he's with the coaching staff, too, that recognizes his value as a player, and they recognize what he brings to the table. I mean, just fouling balls off, just running pitch counts up, putting balls in play. I mean, you're like you said, you can make an argument. He's kind of the heart of this team.
Well, the offseason seems forever ago, but he helped make that case. A ball outside. He's drawn ball 4 here. A big miss that time from Kellenbrink. And Bryce Chance is on to start the 5th. He made that case kind of displaying his grit, toughness, determination by winning the Iron Dog Challenge back in the preseason. That seems like forever ago, but if you want to establish yourself as a leader to go through a physical challenge or a series of physical challenges and to come out of that as the clear-cut winner, I think that says a lot about what you're willing to do. Here's Ryder Woodson, and he takes strike 1 on the outside third, 0-1. 3-run homer for Ryder last time up. That was in the second. That home run by Ryder Woodson, the 103rd for Mississippi State this season. Moved to first. Chance steps back on the bag. 103 home runs ties the program record set a season ago by Mississippi State. 0-1 on Woodson. Brady Kellenbrink holds at the letters. Now he'll throw to first. Again, Bryce Chance bounces back to the bag. Been some really good power hitters that have come through this program. I was shocked that the team had not hit more than 100 home runs prior to last year. 0-1, off-speed pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ryder Woodson.
I think it was the 19 team maybe that hit a ton of home runs. And that was a team the first I thought of was because that lineup, I mean, I think everybody had double-digit home runs. But
2-1 to Woodson. Pop foul behind the plate. That's going to get up onto the roof and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's the pitch there that we've been swinging through. And if you just saw Ryder Woodson swing, you know why. I mean, we're trying to lift that fastball a little bit. And when you do and that ball's up, it's just hard to get to it. He barely got to that one and fouled it off.
Chance being held on over at first. Here's the pitch, a fastball up and away. 2-2. I don't think the fastball command for Kellen Brink has been as sharp in this inning, and maybe he's starting to run into that wall that we've talked about. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ryder Woodson. And the pitch fouled back 2/3 the way up the screen. He got a fastball that time and fouled it straight back.
And it just does not have the life it did the inning before, really. I mean, it's just the ball, that's the pitch he's been getting us on, and now we're able to get to it. It doesn't have quite the life on it, so now we're able to just get to it, foul it off, and just keep getting to another pitch.
He's thrown 70 pitches today. Another 2-2 to Woodson. A capper that rolls foul over to the screen at Mississippi State's first base dugout. Still 2-2. Wind is turned, now blowing out toward the left field corner. Infield back for Mizzou everywhere except first, where Jace Wojta holds Bryce Chance. A move to first and Chance back to the bag. See first baseman hold runners a few different ways. Wojta doesn't straddle the bag per se. He's probably a good foot away from the bag in the cutout as Chance grabs his lead. Another move over and no play. Any advantage to that one way or the other, being right on the bag as opposed to having a little space between you and the bag like Wojta does here?
Well, it gives you ability to cover some more ground and you know, get more ground on the ground ball to you.
2-2 up and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Ryder Woodson.
To me, the left-handed first baseman can do that. The righty, to me, is a little more tough because he's got to kind of spin around the tag. That lefty can just grab it and throw the tag down.
3-2 on Woodson. Runner at first and nobody out with State leading 3-2. Here it comes. It's high and away. It was the fastball and he misses. And that's ball 4.
Great at bat. 2 great at bats right there. We fouled off some really tough pitches, and everybody and their mother now would think Sean James probably could be bunting here, but that was 2 absolutely great at bats.
Kellen Brink had not walked a Mississippi State hitter prior to the start of this inning. And the Mizzou bullpen begins to come alive out behind the left field fence. And we'll have our first mound visit of the day for the Tigers, with their first-year pitching coach, Drew Dickinson, making his way out to the mound. Drew took over for Tim Jamison, who at one time was the head coach at Mizzou, went into retirement. When Carrick Jackson came back to take over the program 3 seasons ago, Tim Jamison agreed to come back as an assistant, manage the pitching staff, and now has handed that duty over to Drew Dickinson. Carrick Jackson, of course, was an assistant for Tim Jamison at one point early in his career.
I think Carrick went to Southern University, I believe, and
Nebraska. But went to Southern to coach, yes.
Yeah, he went to Southern to coach and had a really good run there, got him into some regionals. And, you know, there's so many things that go into building a program now. It's not like it used to be, obviously. So, and the pitching has improved, but he doesn't have the, as they say right now, just doesn't have the dudes.
So here is Sean James, and to Jay's point, Mizzou's defense thinks he is absolutely up there to bunt with first and second and no one out. Wojta playing a step on the grass at first. Patterson in the cutout over at third. Middle infielders Dernan and Ward playing back here. Brady Kellenbrink ready. He'll move to second. Dangerous throw there. Almost went into the back of Bryce Chance with the shortstop Dernan covering the bag from the left side. No play. Big opportunity here for State, trying to take advantage of back-to-back walks to start this inning. Bulldogs lead the game 3-2, bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. James squares, and he pushes at that one and fouls it back over toward Missouri's third base dugout for strike 1. You can't move that bat around. You got to keep that bat still if you want to be a good bunter.
Yeah, but he's trying to bunt the ball to third base, too. The first baseman was charging, so he's trying to get that pitcher into play. And, you know, maybe take that pitcher a long way and you get him involved. Sometimes you get you a hit out of it, but that was a good shot at it, but now you just got to get it down.
0-1 on James. He squares again, and again he fouls this one wide to third. So State can't execute the bunt. 0-2 on James.
Well, and Sean's usually a really good bunter too. He's trying to do a little bit too much. I always told hitters, I don't mind that first one. The first one's on you. If you want to try to get you a hit out of it, that's fine. But you better be to get the second one down. And right now he's going to bunt again. It looks like.
He's squaring around here with 2 strikes. Here it comes, and he fouls that one. That's a wild pitch. It's over the catcher's head, and that's going to get 2 into scoring position. Carrick Jackson is out to argue. I think Jeff Head said it was a foul ball. If that's the case, it's strike 3. It is a foul ball. It is strike 3, and James is out.
Well, I thought I heard it hit something, but I thought maybe it hit the mask. Yeah, he fouled it off.
So the runners will have to reset 2 at first and second. And while they do, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. 10 seconds for a station ID. This is Bulldogs baseball. One out in the inning. Runners at first and second for Mississippi State. Diamond Dogs lead Mizzou 3-2. And here's Garrick Fry as we head to the top of the order for the 3rd time today. Switch hitter still batting right-handed against left-hander Brady Kellenbrink, who turns to throw to second and nobody's home. Full arm fake, and the runners are back. Fry's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And he fouls this one back behind the screen. That'll bounce off the roof and go back into the screen, this time on the seat side. And it'll become a souvenir for a fan in the front row. Strike 1 on Garrick Fry. He will make a bunch of people in Hoover happy with his walk-up song, Alabama's Mountain Music. Here's the pitch. Ball upstairs, a big miss that time from Kellenbrink. Ball 1. Of course, the Alabama band formed in Fort Payne over in the northeast corner of this state. One ball and 1 strike, and the pitch up and away, an off-speed pitch, 2-1. Right at the part of Alabama that borders what state?
I'm going to say Tennessee.
Nope.
But it's Georgia.
It's Georgia.
Yep.
That little bitty piece where Georgia and Alabama come together. 2-1, here it is. Up and away, 3 balls, 1 strike.
You're getting I know one of those rivers, I don't know if it was the Deliverance River. What was that one called? Not Chattooga. Anyway, one of them, it's like basically you getting in 3 states within about a 10-mile stretch.
3-1. High, lazy fly and foul ground off first. This is going to get out of play. Again, it'll bounce on that concourse. And it's picked up on a short hop. Nice lady with a fan knocked that ball down with her fan on the concourse. 3-2 on Fry.
It's a great day for the floppy hat.
Yes, it is. Bucket hat day.
Yes, it is.
First and second for State with 1 out. Back-to-back walks started the inning. State couldn't bunt him over, made an out. Fry rips one back up the middle. That gets into center field. Chances around third. He will score standing up. The throw in from center, cut off behind second. It's an RBI single for Garrick Fry, and State has a 4-2 edge.
Well, good piece of hitting right there by Garrick. He was kind of underneath the ball a little bit, forced him to get the ball down some, and was able to line it right back up the middle. Almost hit the pitcher right in the leg. And that bullpen's thin, obviously, because I don't think Missouri's got anybody going yet. So they obviously, Kellenbrink's really their best guy to give him a shot, it looks like.
So now Ace Reese, who's 0 for 2 against him. Left-on-left matchup and a big miss upstairs with an off-speed pitch. Yeah. That's ball 1. I mean, it's so high that Cerna had to leap to reel it in behind home.
Yeah, they finally getting somebody just now throwing. That's his first haul, so they're starting to run out of gas here. And this is when you need to make them pay.
I believe that's right-hander Sam Rosend in the Mizzou bullpen. First and second for State with 1 out. Bulldogs lead 4-2. A fastball misses up and away to Reese. 2 balls, no strikes. The RBI for Garrick Fry a moment ago, his 40th of the season to drive in Chance. Bryce has scored 2 of the 4 runs today for State. And now Cerna The Missouri catcher is going to walk out and buy some time for that bullpen as he goes to visit with Brady Kellenbrink.
Well, you can't go out of the strike zone if you're Ace Reese, and you start getting, your eyes start getting big when you see a guy struggling like this. You know he's running out of gas. You're in a 2-0 count, but you cannot do him a favor and hit you a weak ground ball somewhere and get him out of the inning.
Kellenbrink's been able to keep one trend going that has been there throughout his 2026 season. He has struck out 7 today. He has struck out at least 6 batters in now 11 of 15 starts this season. If he gets to that 8 strikeout mark, he needs one more to get there. Be the 7th time this year that he's done that. The meeting between battery mates comes to an end as Jeff Wright, the plate umpire, goes out to reel Cerna back behind the dish. Runners at first and second for State with 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes to Ace Reese in this left-on-left matchup, and here comes the pitch. And Ace takes a change up high. 3 balls, no strikes. Shift is on. Patterson, the third baseman, the only defender on the left side for Mizzou. Here's the pitch. He had the green light, 3-0, ropes it foul down into the right field corner. That'll bounce on the brick dust and up into the screen guarding the berm down in that corner for strike 1. Why not, right?
Yep.
Guy's getting late in his appearance, running out of gas. Maybe he makes a mistake there, and Ace got to pitch up.
Well, you trust your hitter, and you give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to do the right thing and not swing at a ball. I like it.
3-1 on Reese. Here it is, a swing and a miss. That changeup lands. Got him out in front, 3-2.
Yeah, it just was. That's the only negative swinging 3-0, and I don't know if it was a ball or a strike, but you know, if you foul that 3-0 off, it allows him to get back in the count a little bit.
Infield tilted around toward the first side. Here's a 3-2, and that's down and in. It is ball 4, the third walk in this inning, and it will load the bases with 1 out.
And I would think that would be it. I don't think there's no way they're going to let him face Noah Sullivan, but I've been wrong plenty of times before.
Well, here comes Carrick Jackson, the Missouri skipper, right on cue. And it looks like this is going to be the end of the day for Brady Kellenbrink. So he strikes out 7, had not walked a hitter until the 5th, but he hit that wall that Tex Little was telling us about during the pregame show today. He'll leave the bases loaded with 1 out, and he'll leave the game with Mizzou trailing 4-2. An Alpha Insurance call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new Missouri reliever in a moment. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
State leads Mizzou 4-2. We are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Diamond Dogs have loaded the bases with help from 3 Missouri walks and a base hit by Garrick Fry. And that has forced the Tigers to make the Alpha Insurance call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Alpha Insurance. Having Alpha by your side is a game changer. When everything's on the line and every second counts, Alpha Insurance will be there knocking it out of the park. That's life with Alpha Insurance. It is right-hander Sam Rosand who comes in for Mizzou, and big physical guy out there who's got to find a way to get a double play ball or get something turned around in a hurry with State trying to crack this thing open, Jay.
Yeah, and he's really been one of their better guys out of the pen. He's tied for the league are the leading appearances for the team at 20. This will be his 21st appearance. 30 and 2/3 innings pitched, 31 hits, 16 earned, 10 walks, 29 strikeouts for 4.70 ERA, 1-3 with 3 saves. So he's a freshman from Washington, D.C., big guy, 6'2", 230. Fastball, kind of a hard curveball, somewhat slider, a little bit bigger than a normal slider, but he's been pretty good for him. You got to stay out of the double play if you know O'Sullivan. That's the step one, get you something to hit. But step two, stay out of that double play.
So here comes Sullivan. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts today. First team All-SEC performer in the regular season. He takes strike one. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Sam Rosand. 0-1. Mentioned it a little bit earlier, but Noah had a big finish to the regular season. He had 3 home runs in the final 2 games of the year at Texas A&M. Bases loaded here with 1 out. Here's the 0-1, a swing and a miss. Out in front of an off-speed pitch for strike 2.
It's that overhand curveball, and it can be pretty good when he gets it in the strike zone. He's not going to overpower you, so you really, you can look, heater, and adjust. You don't have to cheat to get to the fastball.
Bases loaded, the 0-2, swing and a miss. Sullivan's down on 3 pitches, 3rd strikeout for him today, and there are 2 out. Big out for Sam Rosand straight into the game. And now it falls to Jacob Parker to try and cash in with a 2-out hit.
Just out in front of that curveball, and it's, like I said, it's kind of an over-the-top curveball. It's not a huge breaker, but Noah just couldn't stay back.
Parker's 1 for 2, facing a right-hander for the first time today, and he takes up and away. That's a changeup for ball 1. Woodson at third. He walked earlier in the inning. Fry drove in a run with a single. He's at second. Ace Reese walked. He's at first. Infield shaded around toward the first baseline with the third baseman Patterson guarding the hole. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike, and Parker thinks it's low, and he's going to challenge.
I think Parker's right. Exactly right.
It's a fastball at the bottom of the zone. State's 2 for 2 on the ABS challenge today. And we take a look, and it is a strike right at the bottom of the zone.
It's a good challenge, though. I thought it was low, too. And, that goes from obviously being 1-1 to 2-0, so I think that's a good challenge.
So State down to 2 ABS challenges remaining in the game. Here's the 1-1, and there is a strike, a fastball on the outside third. 1-2 on Parker.
He probably wanted to challenge that one, too.
I think that's part of the reason everybody's been a little hesitant to turn hitters loose to tap that helmet. Bases loaded, 1-2. Inside out swing, a flare into foul territory down the left field line. That'll get over the screen, down the side wall, and out of play onto that lower berm down in the left field corner. Still 1-2 on Jacob Parker. The other thing he's shown an ability to do is battle with 2 strikes. His approach there has been very good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it is. Bouncing ball up the first base line. Taken by Rosand. He'll loop it to first. It's a bang-bang play, but Noita able to reel this one in, and State's going to leave the bases loaded. Bulldogs had all the makings of a big inning, but have to settle for only 1. We head to the top half of the 6th inning with State in front of Mizzou 4-2 here at the SEC tournament. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app. Play ball!
Council. Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
misses a chance for a big inning, but the Diamond Dogs do get one in the bottom of the fifth. It's a 4-2 lead for State over Mizzou as we head to the sixth inning. With Jay Powell, I'm Neil Price. Glad to have you with us. Final line today on Missouri starter Brady Kellenbrink. He went 4 1/3, 3 hits, 4 runs. Only one of them earned, though, because of an error. 3 walks, 8 strikeouts for Kellenbrink today.
Should have been worse.
Yeah, should have put more runs up against him for sure. So now Mizzou will send the top of the order up with Wojta, Durnan, and Ward all scheduled to appear for the third time. And they'll face Tomas Valinkas, who's been really good for the Bulldogs today. Again, short rest start for him. He's thrown 65 pitches through 5 innings today. He struck out 7, giving up 2 runs, 1 earned so far.
Well, and I just saw like Jason Wire just took him something like he may have been cramping up a little bit. That's one of those things that kind of you got to watch going forward.
Well, and I would imagine on a day like today, it'd be easy to do it too. It is humid, sticky, and even though the sun's not directly out, it's kind of hiding behind the clouds. You can still feel the heat. Left-on-left matchup as Wojta checks in, and he takes a strike. It's a fastball from Tomas Valinkas down to 93. And the count's 0-1. Now, we've seen him change speeds on that fastball, too. At the high end, 97 or 98 when he really gets behind it. Here's the 0-1. We've also seen him drop it down to 93 for the purpose of command. A slider misses low and in here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fry playing a very deep second base against this left-hander, about 5 feet out on the grass and short right. Here's a fly ball toward the alley in right center. 4 Bulldogs converging. Parker, the right fielder, on his horse, will make a running grab in short right center field, and there's 1 away.
Well, I thought that was just going to be a nice little routine fly ball somewhere in the outfield, but ended up being nothing routine about it.
Well, that's where having a guy in right field like Jacob Parker with that kind of speed helps.
Yep.
He covered a lot of ground to get there, so 1 away, and here is Cam Durnan. Durnan hit the solo shot off of the batter's eye in center back in the first. It started the scoring today. Here's the pitch to the right-hander. He fouls this one off the facade back behind the first base dugout, and it's caught off the bounce by a fan in the last row before the concourse in that lower section of seats. 0-1. Fans are out in the bleachers, and I don't just mean the people. I mean those green fans are out trying to provide cool air. Ball outside, 1 ball and strike.
1
ball and 1 strike on Durnan. Stallman even with the bag off the line, helping guard the 4-hole with a right-hander up. Here's the pitch. That one shot right through the 4-hole. Base hit. Parker to his right scoops it up on a knee out there in right field. It's a 1-out single for Durnan, his 2nd hit today. And that'll get the tying run up for Mizzou with State leading 4-2 here in the 6th.
Well, Durnan swung the bat really well. He hit the home run up the middle, and then he hit a line drive right there to right field. Just a good approach. So far, he's hot. 4 for 6 with 2 home runs in the turning.
So now Blaze Ward, 0 for 2 today. Stallman will hold the runner over at first. Middle infield back looking for a double play ball. Toss over to first. No play for Stallman. Ace Reese even with the bag at third and off the line. Winner gets Georgia tomorrow in a mid-afternoon game. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Stallman snags it diving, but only has 1 play. Valinkas covering from the mound gets to the bag to take an underhand flip from Reed, who was lying face down on the grass. And they get the out as Durnan moves to second.
95% of the other first basemen in this league, that's a base hit. That kid, I mean, that was a difficult play. Holding the runner on, came off the bag. It wasn't hit too hard, but it was hitting a perfect spot. Just a great play. And then he was able to come up. He wasn't able to stand up. He had to get up on his knees and then push off with his back feet to get enough on the throw. I mean, what a play.
So 2 down. A runner at second, and Mateo Serna, the catcher, a right-hander. He takes a ball down and in, ball 1. You're talking about the fans. Made me think of my grandmother. Can remember Sundays in the summer sitting in church and every white-haired lady had the same fan. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside, high and tight. Cerna turns his back to it. Ball 2.
Accordion fans.
No, these were just like the fans you see down here.
Oh.
Had a picture of Jesus as the Good Shepherd on one side and had the 23rd Psalm on the other.
There you go.
And, buddy, they were all in full force. Beating the devil out of that hot air. Yeah, funeral homes, too. Everett Kennard passed that along. Absolutely. Saw a bunch of them there. Cerna takes a strike, 2-1.
I just remember seeing the grandmothers with the old accordion fans that would whip that thing out.
That's a classier crowd than I ran with. We didn't run with the accordion fan crowd. That's a little too high class for us.
Well, Collinsville, that's the way we roll.
Here's a toss back to second, no play.
Collinsville, Mississippi, we're all about our accordion fans. I actually grew up in Martin, which is a suburb of Collinsville. That's what I tell everybody. They have to say, and then I say, well, Collinsville is kind of outside of Meridian, and have to go from there.
Durnan at second with 2 outs, a swing and a miss on the 2-1. 2-2 now, Mateo Cerna. But all of you listening, you know what I'm talking about. If you're of a certain age, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen that fan.
People think I'm crazy. Back then, a lot of churches, of course, didn't have AC. My school, when I graduated, didn't have AC. I mean, I know I'm getting older, but kids nowadays, they just look at me like I'm crazy.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Mateo Cerna with a runner at second and 2 out. Here's the break even, and that's bounced foul wide of third. Still 2-2.
You'd go to junior high basketball practice, about 11 o'clock, and then go to lunch and then try to go do an algebra problem, and your whole form is stuck to your paper because you're sweating. You never quit sweating. And, you're in junior high, so by the time you start smelling really good, you got everything. No girls going to even look at you.
2-2 swing and a miss. That'll help create a little bit of a cool breeze for Valenkas as Cerna fans at that pitch, and Tomas has struck out 8 now through 6 innings. Middle of the 6th, State with a 4-2 lead over Mizzou here at the Hoover Met. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Bulldog fans, this is head coach Jeff Levy. For over 30 years, Columbus Orthopedics has been the trusted team physicians, ensuring our athletes perform at the top of their game. Whether you're an athlete striving for victory or someone seeking relief from pain, if you want to recover like a Bulldog, visit Columbus Orthopedics. Experience the difference trusted expertise makes, and trust one place, Columbus Ortho. Visit columbusortho.com and discover why they're the leading orthopedic clinic in Mississippi.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at the Hoover Met. Vitas Valencias in the 5 spot, set to lead things off for Mississippi State against reliever Sam Rosand, who came in to get the final 2 outs in the 5th for Mizzou. With Jay Powell, I'm Neil Price. We're glad to have you with us today. Those clouds creating a nice barrier between the sun and the fans here right now, and there's one stray gray cloud that has started to hover over the right field part of the ballpark today. Blue skies with a mix of clouds out behind center and left center, and big white puffy clouds out behind the left field fence. Still a nice day, though. Could be much hotter, no question about that. Even though we've seen a lot of fans, we've been talking about that, fans with fans today. Here's Valencias, who's 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts.
It's one of the best baseball experiences you can have. I mean, it's not an overly priced tournament as far as tickets, but it's going to be hot. You know that.
Valencia swings. Here's a drive into deep left field. Still going over the track, over the wall. Vitas Valencias on the first pitch here in the bottom of the 6th. adds on for Mississippi State. A solo shot makes it 5-2 Bulldogs.
Good swing right there. First pitch fastball, looking for it, didn't overswing, didn't try to do too much. That ball was smoked, went over the second wall here at Hoover, which that means it goes a long way.
Yeah, there's the fence with the yellow line, and then there is this extension of the batter's eye that goes around behind the bullpen and left, and Vitas hit it over that second tier of the fence. Here's Stallman. He takes a big rip, a high, towering fly. George can't find it. Now he does. Comes in quickly and makes a hurried catch in straightaway left field for out number 1.
Gave the universal sign, I can't see it, which that's what you're supposed to do. Hands out, then you're – I think his center fielder really helped him out right there. I think Pierre did. He started pointing, and it helped him out.
One of those hands stands for O.
Yeah.
The other hand stands for something with an exclamation point beside
100%. It's a helpless feeling, too.
It is. It is. Here's Bryce Chance with the bases clear. And Bryce takes strike 1 at the knees on the inside edge. 0-1. State leads 5-2 here in the last of the 6th. 3 more games to come here today, including Florida and Vanderbilt. They'll play about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Slider down and away to Chance. 1 ball and 1 strike. There was a time in the not too distant past here where there was a bigger break between games because the teams took infield and outfield between every game. They don't do that anymore. They do that in the backfields over here. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a looper into shallow left and down for a hit for Chance. His first today, picked up by George on a hop out there in left field. Bryce Chance on for the 3rd time in the game, and he's at first with 1 away. That home run for Vitas Valencias to left field, the 104th for Mississippi State this season. That is a new school record.
It's pretty good.
Here's Ryder Woodson. He hit the 103rd back in the 2nd inning today. Toss over to first. Chested down by Jace Woita as Chance dives back onto the bag. Out of the stretch, Roseanne fires, and there's a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1.
That breaking ball is a little bit better for Ryder, too. It's more of a up-down breaking ball. Don't have a lot of side sweep to it, so those balls are a little bit easier for him to handle.
Tossed to first, and White's tag not in time as Chance dives back in. Of course, this ballpark was a professional park for many, many years. Was home of the Southern League's Birmingham Barons, Double-A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. A ball up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. I walked through the hallway. A challenge here. Missouri challenging this ball. Cerna was really good yesterday, 7 out of 8, and make it 8 out of 9 for the tournament. That one right at the top of the zone. So it's strike 2 on Woodson. Mizzou wins its second. Mizzou wins its first challenge today. I beg your pardon. Toss over to first. Trying to keep Chance close. They know he's a good runner. I was walking through the hallway today. I came up the stairs and walked through where the suites are to get over to the press box here behind home. And they've changed the pictures in that hallway now to reflect this park's history as a host of the SEC tournament, which it's been now for a long time. Here's the 0-2 upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Woodson. But I can remember a time walking down that hallway when the Barons were still here, when there were a number of pictures of one Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And the very nice bus that Michael Jordan bought for the Birmingham Barons when he was a player. 1-2 on Woodson. Here it comes from Roseanne. Ground ball to third. Gets between the legs of Patterson. Into left field. George toward the line. Scoops it up. Chance will stop at second. And Ryder Woodson is on for the 3rd time today.
Chris Patterson waiting on that hop. And he was thinking that ball was coming up, and it stayed straight down. I mean, it hugged the ground. I mean, you work ground up, but in his defense, I mean, it looked like it was going to take that next hop and come on to him, and it just hugged the ground right under his glove.
So the second error committed by the third baseman today. And now first and second for State with one out, and the number 9 hitter, Sean James, who takes a breaking ball low, ball one. Did you ever play in this park?
I did not. I was an Eastern League guy in AA, so I was up in the cold part. Well, we got my first year in AA was Portland, Maine, my only year, thank goodness. And got there, supposed to practice, tarps on the field, and it's frozen solid.
1-0. Hard hit through the right side. A screamer by James. That'll move the runners as Seals comes in to pick it up on a short hop in right field. Chance stops at third. Woodson at second. And it's the first hit of the day for Sean James. A one-out single to turn the lineup over for Garrick Fry.
You know, and back then the tournaments were at LSU. And then one year it was in the Superdome. We had the SEC tournament in the Superdome. And the third year, I cannot remember where it was. I want to say it may have been back at LSU. I think it was.
Yeah, I knew that you never played a tournament game in this ballpark because it didn't become the host of the tournament until the late 90s after you had moved on to the Marlins and had won a World Series and done all those great things. Here's Carrick Jackson, the Mizzou skipper, out to make his second trip to the mound today. And the Tigers are going to make an Alpha Insurance call to the bullpen here in the bottom of the sixth. State has loaded the bases. One run home on Avitas Valencia's home run. It's 5-2 State. We'll tell you about the new reliever in a moment. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
The perfect getaway filled with sun time, fun time awaits in coastal Mississippi. Feel the breeze out on the waves. Taste seafood right from our Gulf to your table. Perfect that backswing on pristine courses. Get carried away by live music and local shopping. And when you want some R&R, beach time pairs well with a drink and a lime. For your next memorable escape, coastal Mississippi is here. So play coastal and have some fun. For fun's sake, plan your trip at coastalmississippi.com.
Well, we go back to the bottom of the sixth inning as Mississippi State has the bases loaded with one out, and Missouri will go to the bullpen and bring in the left-handed freshman reliever Isaiah Salas, 5'11", 190 from the Woodlands, Texas. Really leads the team in the ERA this year. This will be his 18th appearance so far on the year. He's pitched 18 innings, giving up 16 hits, 8 earned, 11 walks, 18 strikeouts. So far, the walks has been a little bit of an issue for him. 11 walks in 18 innings pitched. He's going to come in and face Garrick Fry, which we've seen a lot of teams do this year. They come in and they want Fry to hit right-handed, so they're going to want to turn him around. Last outing, Salas pitched 2 1/3 innings against Texas. Very good. Only 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. So been one of their better guys out of the pen, and he's got now the bases loaded, and he'll come in to face Garrick Fry, who Garrick will flip around here and hit from the right side.
And I would imagine that's a big part of making the move at this point, too, because I was just thinking before he made the change, Garrick's not had many opportunities left-handed today and probably would love to have a left-handed bat here with the bases loaded. Instead, he's going to turn around and hit right-handed. Here's the pitch, and it's a bouncing ball just foul outside third. And it's strike one on Fry.
That's what he does sometimes. He just ties himself up. He's really closed off right-handed, Garrick is. A lot more comfortable left-handed. He's a good right-handed hitter. It's not that he's a bad hitter, but he's not quite as good as he is from the left side.
Here's the pitch, and he takes low over the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Alpha Insurance. Having Alpha by your side's a game changer when everything's on the line and every second counts. Alpha Insurance will be there knocking it out of the park. That's life with Alpha Insurance. Here's the pitch, and he hits Fry.
There you go.
Too far inside, and that'll force home a run as Chance comes in from third, and that makes it 6-2 Mississippi State.
Hold your ground, young man, and that's what he did. He got a slider down and in and got him not in a great spot, right above the knee or right below the knee, but good job by Garrick. That's an RBI hit by pitch.
2 RBIs for Garrick Fry today, up to 41 now on the year. The bases are loaded for Reese, 0 for 2 with a walk today. State's got a chance to crack this thing wide open. Here's the pitch, and Ace swings at a fastball and fouls it a third of the way up the screen behind home for strike 1.
He got a pitch there, too.
Salas ready to go, and he deals outside. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ace Reese. State in front 6-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Base is still loaded with only 1 out. Salas from the stretch fires. Reese takes a breaking ball outside. 2-1 on the left-hander. Left-on-left matchup here. Woodson at third, James at second, Fry at first. Salas sets at the letters. He comes home, and he just misses the outside corner. 3-1 on Ace Reese. Isaiah Salas has got to give him a strike here to avoid walking in a run. Shift is on to the right side. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. Fastball over that outside third. 3-2.
Yeah, went out of the strike zone, too. Saw that fastball 3-1. Eyes got big and just went out of the zone. That was down. That was ball 4.
A Bulldog at every base here, leading 6-2. Here's a 3-2 to Reese. Lined foul down the right field line. That reaches the screen down the sidewall past the tarp. Still 3-2.
I think that swing there is what, to me, Ace does better. He's out front, he's off balance, but he still gets a barrel to the ball. I mean, he barrels more balls up sometimes with kind of funky-looking swings, which that's a talent. I mean, he does a good job of that.
Another 3-2, and this time he just spoils a pitch, bounces it straight down in that left-handed batter's box, and he'll spin back to the backstop.
Great hitters have the ability to get the barrel to the ball more times than hitters that are not quite as good, and that's what he does.
3-2 on Ace Reese. Bases loaded with 1 out. Salas delivers, and that's fouled out of play to the left. Over the screen, and that'll get up into the seats behind the third base dugout. Infield shifted around toward the right side. The third baseman, Patterson, is the only infielder on the left side for Mizzou. Playing in the hole here with the bases loaded. Salas throws another 2-strike pitch to Reese, and it's another foul ball, this time wide of the coaching lines at first, right past Matt Kirby. And it's still 3-2.
He's getting there. He's seeing about everything in the kitchen sink right now. He's getting there.
Outfield plays him straight up. Here's another 2-strike pitch, and it's a ground ball foul again, wide of first. Still 3-2 on Ace Reese. Heck of a battle here against Isaiah Salas. Sullivan waiting on deck. Reese just trying to avoid a double play. Bases loaded, 1 out. State leading by 4. The bottom of the 6th.
This will be the 11th pitch.
Here it comes.
Good take.
A half swing and a peel down to third. Reese able to hold the brakes, and he has drawn a bases loaded walk to force home another run. Woodson comes home from third, and it's 7-2 State.
Well, he got a steady diet of sliders. When the count hit 3-2, he did not throw him another fastball, and that was started right on the corner and went off, and just a great take by Ace. It was close to being a swing, but
an 11 pitch at bat that turns into a walk. So the bases are still loaded. 3 runs are home, and here is Noah Sullivan. And he swings and sends a fly ball into shallow right field. Now the ball gets over his head. Seals came in. The ball sailed over his head. It falls for a hit. James will score from third. Everybody else takes 90 feet. And it's 8-2 Mississippi State.
That was a routine fly ball to right field, and I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't think it would be a tough sky to see. We've seen the left fielder and the right fielder lose it, but yeah, he ran in. He was probably 25 feet from that ball.
Go down as a screamer in the scorebook.
Yep.
Noah Sullivan with an RBI single. He drives in his 44th run of the year. And the bases are loaded for Jacob Parker, who is the 9th man to bat in this inning. An inside-out swing. Grounded to third. Sliding stab by Patterson. Just one play. That's over to first. He'll throw to Woita to retire Parker. That'll push Fry across, and it's 9-2.
Well, and what this does, and we saw Ben Davis getting up earlier the inning before, so, you know, this may be able to keep him out of the game.
So here's Vitas Valencias, who started all this with a solo home run to left earlier in this inning. State has scored 5 times in the 6th to stretch the lead to 7. It is 9-2. Second and third with 2 out, and Valencias, the right-hander, takes a strike from Salas. 0-1. State has batted around in the 6th.
Kind of surprised Patterson just didn't touch the bag. He had a force over there.
I think the dive threw him.
Yep.
Here's the 0-1. Bounced in. A nice block by Cerna behind the plate to hold the runner at third. 0-2 on Vitas Valencias. Four hits in the inning, a walk, an error, and an HBP. Those are all the ingredients for the big frame. 1-1, that's tagged. Deep left center field. Vitas has done it again. 2 home runs in the same inning for Vitas Valencias. This time it's a 3-run bomb to left center field. And State has a 10-run lead. It is 12-2 here in the 6th.
Tell you what, that was a little brotherly love. Tomas out there on the top step to greet his brother, and that ball was a bomb, hit the left center, and that is huge because that gets us to 10 runs now, and all we got to do is get 3 more outs. You're going to save a lot of pitching if you can do that.
He started the day with a pair of strikeouts, and he has come back in a major way with 2 home runs here in the 6th inning. 12-2, an 8 spot for State in the 6th. And here is Stallman with the bases clear, and a big long swing comes up empty for strike 1.
That's exactly what you needed, too. We talked about getting into that bullpen. They had a tough game yesterday. They went to that pen yesterday. Quick turnaround.
So State adds to that school record. That's the 105th home run of the year for the Bulldogs. A ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Stallman in a left-on-left matchup with Isaiah Salas. 12-2. State leads it here in the last of the 6th. Big hole up the middle for Reed. Here's the pitch, and he bounces it foul off the padding at State's first base dugout. 1-2. Regions Bank postgame show follows the game today. Brian O'Connor is going to get pulled in about 10 different directions postgame. We won't get to talk to him during the SEC tournament. You will hear from a state assistant postgame. It'll either be Kevin McMullen or Justin Parker after the game today. Check swing on a pitch that was down and away, and appeal down to third, and they say Stallman could not hold the bat. So that will end a long 6, but State propelled by 2 home runs in the frame from Vitas Valencias. Scores 8 to take a 10-run lead, and now 3 more outs can get the Bulldogs a win here at the SEC tournament. We'll tell you about the top of the 7th in a moment. After 6, it's 12-2 State over Mizzou. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app. Play ball!
Ad Council. When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Six-inning totals on today's game. Mizzou with 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. State with 12 runs, 8 hits, and an error. And now the Diamond Dogs, thanks to an 8-run 6th inning, are in position, if they can get 3 more outs here without giving up a run, to close out a run rule victory here at the SEC tournament. They'll go to Ben Davis out of the bullpen to come on and try and close this one out. And he'll face Jordan, Pierre, and George, 5, 6, and 7 for Mizzou. So Davis was getting loose already. I know that there will be people who will question this move because Tomas Valinkas came out through 6 strong innings today. Now you go to one of your high-leverage guys when you've got a 10-run lead. But if he's already getting loose, there's a price that's been paid anyway, right? So you may as well let him pitch at least an inning here since he's been out there and he's loosened up.
Well,
is that accurate?
It is, in the sense that he's already got hot. Now, obviously, him going in the game puts a lot more stress on him coming back than just getting hot. There's no question about that. But, you know, this thing, it was 8-2. In that situation, you've got to win this game. And then all of a sudden, we pop a home run, and, you know, it turns into one of those things where, you know, he's ready. And if he goes out there, has a quick inning, the game's over, and you've only burned 1 inning of your bullpen.
Here's the pitch to Donovan Jordan, and Ben Davis misses outside for ball 1.
What you can't have happen, obviously, is him go out there and give up a run, and him end up having to pitch the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th.
Here's the 1-0. There's a knee-high strike on the inside edge. 1-1. Tomas Valinkas in line for a win. 6 innings today, 5 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned. No walks, 8 strikeouts for Tomas today, who did it in less than 80 pitches. Here's the 1-1 to Jordan. Check swing, foul ball. Bounces over Sean James and rolls back to the backstop. 1-2.
I think there's a sense, too, among everybody, and coaches, everybody, that you just can't lose this game. And I know it's 12-2, but you win this game, I think they feel like they probably locked up hosting. And that's how important this game is. So, hey, let's go win it with our best guy.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Donovan Jordan in a right-on-right matchup with Ben Davis, who's on to pitch the 7th. Here it comes. And that one misses outside, a slider. 2-2. Well, and you understand some of the metrics and the history of how the committee thinks and all that far better than I do. Here's a 2-2. Big miss away with that sinking fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Jordan. But I think 40 in the win column always looks good.
Yep.
And that's what State's playing for here today, too, to get that 40th win. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Donovan Jordan. Davis works off the first base side of the mound. He comes home and he misses low and away. So a leadoff walk. And again, Mizzou's got to have a run to keep this game going.
Well, and you're right. 40 is a big number. You get to 40, you know, you're 16-14 in the conference. You got a winning record in the toughest conference in the country. Your RPI is good. Your strength of schedule is good. And look, it factors in a little bit your you know where you're at. I mean, there's not any place better to host a regional in Mississippi State, and the NCAA knows that.
So now Caden Pierre. He swings and hits one in the air, into left. Valencius a few steps toward the line, reaches up and makes the grab, and there's 1 out. Speaking of Vitas Valencius, Logan Lowry passed this note between innings. Vitas Valencias is the first state player to hit 2 home runs in the same inning since Hunter Hines did it at Mizzou last season.
That was a home run brigade last year out there.
So 1 away, and now Jamal George, 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. That catches the outside third. Sinking fastball is strike 1.
That ground ball, that sinker right here. Speaking of sinkers, we got to give a little love to our guy, former Bulldog JT Ginn.
Yep.
Was outstanding. Took a no-hitter into the 9th inning a couple days ago.
One fouled 2/3 of the way up the screen by George behind home, 0-2.
I texted him afterwards and told him that was one of the best games I've seen pitch. He was absolutely amazing, and unfortunately, our former Bulldog Adam Frazier broke up the no-hitter in the 9th, and then JT gave up a home run and got beat 2-0. But boy, he pitched an incredible game.
Davis working out of the stretch with a runner at first. Here's the pitch, and that slider misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch outside. 2-2 on Jamal George. Ben Davis worked in all 3 games at Texas A&M this past weekend. Brian O'Connor really praised his toughness. Never complained, said even on that 3rd day, Coach, put me in if you need me. What can I do for you today? Here's the pitch, down and away. 3-2, but he's having a hard time with that outside third to right-handers here. He's come on in the 7th to try and get the final 3 outs. He's nailed down 1 of them. Jordan reached on a leadoff walk. He's being held on by Stallman over at first. State leads 12-2. Can't give up a run here. We'll have to keep playing. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Reese has got it. He'll go to second for 1. The throw to first is not in time. State will challenge here to see if it can get an out to end the game.
I think it's a good challenge, too. It was bang, bang, but this video, of course, they'll get it in slow motion, all that good fun stuff, but it will, I think it's going to be really close, and you might be able to overturn this thing.
Call on the field is safe. Again, it is collaborative review, so the league office in downtown Birmingham taking a look. It is bang, bang, but the state fans applauding. They think that ball is in the mitt. Runners out. Game's over. It ends on a 5-4-3 double play, and Mississippi State has knocked out Missouri in 7 innings by a final score of 12-2. Stay tuned. Regions Bank postgame show is coming up next. This is Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research